it's lucky you had that key, actually. I completely forgot that Terry had changed the locks. A trusting soul.
She did it for your own good, you know. She's trying to keep you out of jail again.
How thoughtful.
I'll get the rest of the stuff.
Hey, look, be careful with those boxes.
Don't worry about it.
Well, this place isn't bad, actually. It's a good thing I got those Redlands out of here before they had any chance to do too much damage. Well, it's a lot better than that mortuary that Charles lives in, that's for sure. It's cheerful, at least. Well, maybe a little too cheerful. Maybe I can get some slipcovers here. Mother and I never did agree on anything, much less decorating. Oh. Well, I think it'll do for the time being. As I say, there's no place like home.
There you go.
Oh, what do you mean?
That's it.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not going to just dump everything, are you? I thought you were going to help me.
I said I'd help you move your stuff over here.
Yeah, well, look, why don't you take the suitcases and stick them upstairs in my bedroom, you know, where Mother's bedroom is. And the boxes, just put them in the study, because I haven't worked out where I'm going to put them. You know, could you paint? This place would be really nice painted up, just fixed a little brighter, you know.
Nothing like making yourself at home, Nancy.
Well, actually, you had that summer job painting, didn't you? You know, a couple of coats around here would really liven it up.
Sure would. How much?
How much?
Yeah.
You don't think I'm going to pay you, do you?
Hey, can I ask you one little question?
Sure.
What makes you tick?
What do you mean?
I mean, where do you get off? You're never satisfied, are you? Whatever happens, you're still ordering people around.
Hey, look it, I just asked you to help me, that's all. I mean, you don't even know what I've been through.
Oh, yeah, it's always someone else's fault, isn't it?
You think I'd be here if I had a choice? Well, I don't.
You know, I never did figure out how you and Mom were raised in the same house, but you turned out so different.
Well, obviously, you didn't know your grandmother very well, did you?
Wait a second. What do you mean by that?
Well, she absolutely adored your mother. I mean, Terry could do no wrong. She was Miss Perfect. Always doing well at school, having the right friends, and dressing right. She was always held up as the example of how I should be. Made me sick.
Guess that could be hard on a kid.
Well, how would you like it if your mother was forever going out of her way to show you how inadequate you were?
Grandma wouldn't do that.
Oh, well, maybe she wouldn't do it in public. But I know how she was. I mean, she loved your mother. She never felt the same way about me.
Nancy, I guess I never really knew that.
Your mother always had everything so easy. Well, I've had a fight for everything I've ever had in my life. So don't be so quick to judge, Peter.
I just didn't realize it.
Well, I don't expect your mother was going to tell you that kind of stuff about her childhood, was she?
Can't say she ever did.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't.
I'm sorry.
Hey, look, I didn't tell you that for pity. I told you that so that you'd know how things really were.
Hey, look, if there's ever anything I can do, just let me know, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, suitcases upstairs. Got it? Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
and I'll get the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
Nancy, look, I'm serious now. Just ask me.
I appreciate it. Little twerp. If he thinks I'm gonna stoop low enough to beg from a Davidson, he's got another thing coming. I may be desperate, but I'm not that desperate.
Would have helped if the kid had remembered to put a period in there someplace. Yeah, come in.
Mr. McGovern? Gene Redland.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. I talked to you on the phone, remember?
Yeah, you're that friend of Victor Cody's, right?
Yeah, well, a friend of a friend's. I brought the resume by that you told me to bring.
Yeah, that's good. Put it on the desk. A master's degree in journalism, and he can't even give me a decent lead. Well, Mr. Redland, what is it exactly you're looking for?
Well, sir, I wanted to talk to you about a job.
Well, that's obvious. Well, let me see. Yeah, you, thought I recognized you. You used to be co-anchor with Scott Davidson, right?
That's right, WRD.
I knew Scott. Good man. Yeah, it's a shame what happened to him last New Year's.
Yes, it is.
Did you hear about his daughter? That was a terrible thing.
Yeah, well, they transferred Lori to Mercy Hospital. I talked to her husband, Dr. Martin, and he said that she seems to be progressing pretty well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently she's coming out of the withdrawal state.
Oh, I'm sure glad to hear that.
Yeah.
They haven't caught the fellow that did that yet, have they?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Well, believe me, when they do, you'll read about it in the paper. Well, let me see. You've been out of the TV business for a long time now, haven't you?
I got fired.
You say that like you're proud of the fact.
Well, Scott and I broke this big story about a drug ring, and the management didn't like it. They told us that we were opening up a can of worms.
But a good reporter's supposed to do that.
Oh, believe me, I was blown away by the reaction, too, sir.
Well, I can't say as I blame you.
Another line of work opened up, so I grabbed that, and I wanted to have a change in my life, you know?
Well, that's when you went to work for the Office of Planning and Development.
Yes, that's right.
And then you moved on to work for Commissioner Prescott.
I was a field deputy for him.
You know, it's a shame Prescott decided not to run again. Honest politicians are as scarce as hen's teeth, especially honest politicians who get elected. And I think he could have won this one hands down, don't you?
No doubt about that, sir.
Yeah, well, this experience should be a great help to you, you know? All those contacts, the ins and outs of city politics. You know, we might be able to use somebody with those connections.
Well, you know, Mr. McGovern, that's what I figured. You see, I was in a position where I saw a lot of things, and I've always had a desire to let the public know about it, so.
Now, tell me something, Redland. Do you really think you could hack it as a newspaper man?
Well, I think my resume speaks for itself, sir. I've been a journalist most of my life.
You mean a television journalist, don't you?
I didn't say nothing to Ione the other night, but I'm really worried. You know, I bet you anything that phone call we got was from Ronnie.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to say anything because I was afraid of spooking you any more than you already were.
He knows where I work. Now he knows where I live. Before you know it, he's gonna...
You know something, Babs? I really hate to suggest this, but you maybe ought to think about getting out of town for a while. Lay low.
I can't.
Well, why not if it means your life?
Because well, I got unfinished business, that's all. Besides, I'm not gonna let that guy push me around anymore.
What do you mean you got unfinished business?
I can't go into it right now, Harold, but I just can't run, that's all.
Well, what about disguise?
It's an idea. Halloween's just around the corner. Too bad I'm so tall, I could pass myself off as E.T.
Come on, Babs, I'm serious.
I was afraid of that.
Well, even today, you look, well, you're just different. So, what'd you do? You cut your hair?
Oh, it must be the dress. Miriam loaned it to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You know, that looks nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
It makes you look, I don't know, it's different somehow.
More sophisticated, maybe?
Well, I'd say a little more refined.
You know, maybe you got something there, Harold. You know, I'm dynamite as a redhead. I had this client once, and he had this thing for redheads, and always insisted I wear a wig.
Well, don't do anything to attract attention to yourself. Just what you want to do is blend in.
I'll think about that. You will help me, won't you, Harold?
Yeah, Babs, I'll do what I can.
What do you want?
I gotta talk to Webster.
You got an appointment?
No, I don't got an appointment. So what?
I warned you the last time.
What do you mean you warned me?
Why don't you just wait outside and I'll tell Mr. Webster you're here.
Hey, Harold, you're not gonna let this woman talk to me like this, are you?
She is paid to protect my interests. But I guess I got a few minutes if you got something relevant to say.
Hey, look, do you mind? This is a private conversation.
Listen, Barbara, maybe you could finish that up a little bit later, okay?
Yeah, but I was just gonna...
No, I got everything under control.
Okay, Lance. Let's skip the minor details. What's your next move?
It's gonna be a cinch, Ron.
A cinch, huh?
She stands out like a marshmallow in a bowl of chocolate pudding. She's the only white chick in the black neighborhood.
That's going to make her easy to find. It isn't going to make her easy to capture.
Now, once we grab her, you can do whatever you want with her.
That's precisely what I want for her. I've got to find out how much she knows and who she's talked to.
You still think she's got some dirt on us?
She knew plenty of the goings-on around here. Don't kid yourself.
Everybody takes a little bit off the top. It's expected. Even the prince knows
A
that.
little, maybe. But that's not what we've been doing.
I still say if she had anything on us, she'd have spilled her guts by now. Why wait around?
The only way I can figure is that she hasn't put all the pieces together yet. I don't think she knows who the prince is, much less how to get in touch with him.
So we're home free. What's the problem?
The problem, you numbskull, is that if she does put the pieces together, we're through, we're finished. Capiche? Understand?
You think that's what she's doing?
Why else would she be hanging out in Kingsley?
Surely not for the atmosphere.
She's up to something. I know she is. Anybody else would have been so terrified by now they'd have split a long time ago.
I can't wait to lay my hands on her, boss.
Just don't you mess her up until I get her first.
You still want her wasted, don't you?
I want that chick strung up for all the other girls to see. I want them to know what happens when somebody crosses me. But after I question her,
She won't get away.
this time you'd better make sure.
Well, these are pretty impressive credentials for a television reporter.
Excuse me, sir, but I started out working for a paper.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Campbellsville Sentinel.
Yeah, that's right. I was fresh out of college then.
Ah, yes, Campbellsville. I spent a month there one afternoon.
Yeah. I remember the big story of the year there was when they put a stoplight in the middle of Main Street.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Yes, well, I'll be honest with you, Redlin. You were a TV personality in this town, and I just wonder if you could get used to the humdrum life of a newspaperman.
I don't believe I follow.
Well, I mean, TV had all that glamour and excitement. I just wonder if you might not just get bored working for a newspaper.
But don't you see, sir, that's what I've always wanted to do. I mean, that's why I changed my mind and I got out of television. I've always loved the challenge of digging into a story and putting everything together.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you bring me a sample of your copy?
No, but I will.
Well, good. You see, Redlin, I want somebody who's not only good, but somebody who can write.
Uh-huh.
I started working on this paper as a copy boy a good many years ago. And I worked my way up, and believe me, that's the only way you can learn this business. I worked under some of the best editors in the country before I got my first byline. I don't know what they're teaching in the schools of journalism these days, but it sure isn't writing. I don't understand it. These kids come in here looking for a job. You know what they want to show me? Their diplomas. I don't care how many degrees you got. What I want to know is, can you write?
I'll bring some samples of my copy this afternoon.
Good. I'm considering some other people for this job, Redlin, and some of them have more newspaper experience than you do.
I believe the proof is in the writing. If I can't handle it, I can't handle it. But I'm sure, Mr. McGovern, you would not be disappointed.
Well, I don't say it to discourage you. I just thought you ought to know.
Yes, sir.
Well,
I appreciate that.
well, it's been nice to meet you, Mr. Redlin. I'll be back in touch with you in about a week.
Okay, same here, sir. Goodbye.
Bye.
Water?
Huh? Don't worry, Ron. That chick ain't gonna mess me up twice. Me and Blue are gonna take care of her, but good.
An abduction?
Yeah, me and Blue are just gonna grab her some night when there ain't nobody around.
That's what I just said, an abduction.
Good plan.
Then I want you to bring her out to Saddleback.
Oh, terrific. A weekend in the country?
A little rest and recreation should do us all a lot of good.
And the leaves are beautiful up there this time of year.
It's too bad Babs won't see them this trip.
What a pity.
I want her out there where nobody can hear her scream.
I can dig it. You planning on doing some things that'll make her squeal?
When I'm finished with her, I'll know everything I need to know.
Well, she's held out this long, maybe she won't talk so easy.
She'll open up to me. I have my ways. Then you can have her when I'm through with what's left of her.
Yeah, me and Blue are gonna have a lot of fun with that thing.
By the way, what's with Blue lately?
Nothing, why?
He's just been acting a little strange. How did he mess up his face?
Oh, you know Blue. He's always been a little strange. As for his face, if you can believe it, he told me his girlfriend did that to him.
Well, can you?
Can I what?
Believe him.
I want to legalize my residency at my mother's house.
Legalize your residency. What in the world do you mean by that?
Well, I moved in there this afternoon, and I just want to make sure that no one can kick me out again like they did before.
Legalize your residency?
Well, what's so funny? I mean, you're supposed to be a lawyer. You ought to be able to handle that.
Nancy, the only way you're gonna be sure that you can't get kicked out of that house anymore is to buy the other half from Terry.
Oh, come on.
No, it's true. Unless you buy the other half of the house from your sister, if she didn't want you living there, all she gotta do is kick you out anytime she wants to.
Well, I don't believe that. I know I got more rights than that in this situation.
Sorry. Not the way your mother left the house divided up equally between you two.
Well, I ought to have known better than to come to someone like you. I mean, it's obvious you don't know what you're talking about.
Nancy, if you feel that way, why is it you keep coming back? Could it be that you are so taken with my charm and good looks you can't resist it? I'm telling you, Nancy, as long as you own only half the house, then you have claimed only half the house. Now, if your sister doesn't want you living there, you got two choices, or three. You can buy her out, she buys you out, or you both sell your interest to a third party. That's the law.
I wonder if Terry knows that.
Well, I expect she does. What I can't figure out is how in the world she ever let you get back in that house in the first place.
Because, as you say, I own half of it. And the Redlands are gone and the place is empty, so.
Yeah. I've told you what your options are. If there's nothing else you need to ask me.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Thank you very much.
She didn't look very happy.
Does she ever?
What did she want?
Well, same thing she always wants, her own way. Nothing else will do for Nancy.
Well, I hope you told her off, but good.
She didn't need it this time. Wasn't necessary.
Her kind needs it every day and twice on Sunday. You know, Harold, I've been thinking about what you said earlier.
Mom!
Gene, how'd it go?
Oh, hi there, lady.
Well, aren't you gonna tell me anything? What happened? Did you get the job?
Well, I did see Mr. McGovern, but he didn't seem terribly impressed with my credentials.
There you go with that nonsense again, being negative. I'm sure you got the job. When are you gonna hear something?
Not for another week, that's what he said.
That long?
He said that there are a couple of other people that are interested in the job, and actually, I'd be surprised if it took that long.
Not even worried. I know you got the job.
Oh, but he was impressed when I told him that I worked for Jason Prescott. He thought that would get him a little in, you know, with city politics.
What did I tell you? I knew it would.
I just think it's unfortunate, though, that he has this mental block about TV reporters. He thinks television news is so superficial, you know, and I kept trying to explain to the man that, you know, that's one of the big reasons I wanted out in the first place.
You think he believed you?
That's hard to tell with McGovern.
He'd be a fool if he didn't pick you up.
Ah, Mom. Maybe I should take you down there and let you tell him how I would make a great addition to his staff, you know? I think that would really be nice, huh?
I'd be glad to.
I knew you would. Hey, Mom, what smells so good? What's for supper?
Pot roast, green beans, and mashed potatoes.
Oh, this smells real good. I like that.
Oh, dinner be ready in a short while. Listen, Jean, since you got the job all taken care of, don't you think it's about time that you ought to kind of get your personal life in order?
Mom, come on. Let's not start that again.
What do you mean?
You're talking like I already have the job. I don't have the job yet, Mom.
Oh, I'm sure you will, though.
Well, that's not your decision to make, unfortunately. Now, Mr. McGovern's going to make that decision, and who knows? I mean, he may have entirely different ideas altogether.
I doubt that. Once you get to working for the paper, Jean and Carl will be coming home. Things will get back to normal. Now, I think it's a good time now for you to start taking care of that.
Mom, please. Now, just don't push me. That's all I ask.
Jean, if I don't push you, I'm afraid you'll never do anything. I declare you're acting more and more like your father every day.
Oh, now, come on. Now, let's not go through this again.
Have you heard from Jimmy?
Not in a couple of days, no.
Well, there's a telephone. Why don't you call him? That's all I'm saying. Stay on top of things. Why do you have to wait till everything falls in place before you act?
Okay, Mom, I'll call him.
You don't seem too determined.
Well, Mom, I don't know when the right time is. Come on.
You're afraid Carl will answer the phone, aren't you?
Hey, Mom, I'll do things my way, and I'll do it in my time, if that's okay with you.
I'm home.
Hi, Babs. Would you just kind of take care of these beans while I'm gone? I don't want to see them burning. Miriam, I thought sure I heard Babs come in this house.
Ta-da! How do you like it?